Hi everybody, I'm Chris Dufresne. Welcome back to the channel. How's everybody doing today? And welcome all you newcomers. We're like one big happy family here. I don't know about you, but if you guys don't know, I live in Santa Clara County. My work's in Campbell, my house is in San Jose, and we're really close to the fires. I just want to say right now, everyone that has been evacuated or is going through this, our love, our prayers, everything goes out to you guys because the fires are quietly all over the place. In fact, the fire department was up here, I think, yesterday because I have a fire, fire thing on the side of the road where they check. Fire hydrant, there you go.
Yep, fire hydrant.
Fire hydrant. And so they were checking that out and I said, so is everything okay? Well, they said, well, we'll see. Fire department's really great up here, so I don't know yet if we're going to be evacuated or not. That's one thing about a psychic ability is I can talk to people and read for them that I don't even know and be 85% accurate or so. But even for myself, I can't tell anything at all. And people say, well, Chris, maybe some of you have heard this. What was it like living with Sylvia Browne as a mother? Well, she really couldn't tell me anything psychically. When you love someone and you're emotionally connected to them, it does get confusing what you pick up psychically. So it doesn't work like that, which means I get to live a pretty totally normal life, which is kind of cool because think about it realistically. If I could read minds, I'd probably be in a funny farm, so that wouldn't be too good. And if I really knew all about my whole life, then it wouldn't make much sense to even go through and do it. So I think God puts us, in this place for a reason. Besides, I wouldn't trade it for anything. I just love helping people. So for the newcomers, if you haven't subscribed, you may want to subscribe. And the reason you may want to hit that notification bell, because you'll be alerted of what new things we're going to be posting, what things are going to be coming up. I know this next week we're going to try to get a little bit more on the car tour. We're going to try to do the Chris Raw thing, and that is where we set the computer up, the camera up, and we just do things around the house. And whatever happens, happens. So we're going to start integrating that. And if you guys have anything else that you'd like to see us do, put that down in the comment section below, and we'll do our best to oblige you with that. So I know we have, in case I don't get to your question here today, you can we have a special going, Ask Chris Questions. And that's Friday the 28th at 5 p.m. That's Pacific Standard Time or California time, whatever you want to think. Okay, so you can always do it that way too as you like. But let's say hello to some people. Hi, Kelly. She says, hi, Chris. Not hi, Chris, no, just kidding. Hi, Lori. And hi, Deanne. And hi, Crystal. Hi, Ewa, EWA,
I think that's Eva.
Eva? Or
I believe so.
Ewa. Tell us which way to pronounce your name.
I'm curious as well.
We don't mean to do it wrong there for you. Hi, Shauna, and hi, Luna. Hi, Crystal. Hi, Gail. And about this beard, man, with the contest with my friend, he's not giving in. I finally had to cut a little bit above my upper lip here, but I really want to take this off. But winter's coming, and we'll see how long I can do it. I'm going to do a video on it, though, and see how you guys like it either way and see what wins for that. So we'll just go from there. Well, Chris, let's get to some questions here.
So first one out of the box is Devray. They want to know what their spirit guide's name is.
Your spirit guide name is Manny. That's your guide's name is Manny.
Okay, so we don't have a ton of questions so far, so I'm going to just be looking in chat. Everybody's saying hello.
Hi, hi, hi. Hello, hello, hello. Everyone is saying hi. You're not kidding.
Yeah, no, it's there's no questions here. It's just all
That's
Ducky2
cool.
says they like your beard.
Oh, you do? You know what I wanted to do, though, is I wanted to go in and go to a barbershop and kind of get it cut, like the outline of the beard, because I can do really good on the right side. I can't seem to make it work for me on the left side. It never looks uniform when I look in the mirror. So I figured if I could get it like done, that I could just follow the line and be more successful with that. But then again, how do you go do that with this pandemic when you have to have a mask over your face? How that can work?
I think they're doing the stuff outside, like outside of some barbershops and stuff.
What?
Yeah, that's where I got
maybe.
my haircut.
I don't. It's been a long time since I've been to a barber. Hello.
Yeah, right.
I got that Mr. Clean kind of look. So here we go. We got some coming in here.
Yeah, Ladybug says,
sorry. I want to thank you guys once again so much for the donations that do come in, because it helps Chris come and help me. It helps the channel stay alive. We really do greatly appreciate that. It's not a guarantee that we get and answer your question. But we're going to try to answer as many as we can while we're here, just so that you know. But we want to just thank you for the stickers that you guys get, and certainly donations. They're so greatly appreciated.
I try my best. There's 80 to 200 people, and I'm just one person, so it gets to be a lot, and I miss some. Ladybug says, when am I going to Mexico?
Mexico, I don't think you'll go until April. I think that's still a little, but I think you'll be fine. And I think it'll be a really good trip. And please, everybody, let's do the best we can to stay home. The one thing that I have realized and found out from my kids is that realistically, anything can come to your front door. I mean, I had a grocery store stuff come to my front door. And then we just spray it all with bleach and we let it all dry and then we bring it all in. So we have to be careful. We have to be staying home because we want this to end. And the only way it's going to end is if people stay home. Because then it doesn't have a host to go.
Nowhere to transfer.
And once again, with these fires, I want you to know we're all saying prayers for everyone out there. And please say a small little prayer for us here because I might have to evacuate. It's close here to me. It's really close. I'm surprised Chris came up to help me today because if I could turn this and show you, it's close. Okay.
So close. I think it's like 1,000 feet or something. What I measured last night is the evacuation zone.
Yeah, well.
And the fire is a few times that.
See, here we go. I'm not psychic about myself, but I have a good feeling that we're going to be okay. All right. Besides, I wanted to be with you guys. So see, I'm here with. I went out to see my truck, and my truck was black. Now it's like charcoal gray.
Yeah, I was looking at that when I drove past.
No, seriously, the ash. I was up, watering the lawn and watering these new redwood trees I put in, and I still can't get that avocado tree to grow. So I gave up on it for a while and just gonna just put that down until I find a really huge, big specimen. I'll plant that sucker in and hopefully it'll grow. But yeah, I was watering and I rinsed my truck off, and I think that was a bad thing because then it's wet, it's stickier, and it's just like
it just gets worse when it's wet.
It's like goo on it or something. So that was a real brilliant thing I did. But anyway, we'll clean it up in some of these car tours that'll be coming, so it should be okay. That's the least of my worries is a dirty vehicle at this point. But as long as everyone's healthy and happy, that's all I really care about. Okay, let's get to the questions.
Tiger Pixie says, will I find the right home for my dog and when?
Timeline, because you're going to be very scrupulous on how this animal and where this animal is going to go. I think it'll be the end of next month, which is not terribly bad, but that's a cutie. That animal's a cutie.
Julie says, do my guides have a message for me today?
No. I think if you wanted to get in touch with the guys, which is the main thing here, is you got to relax your mind. You really got to relax where you're not thinking about anything. And I've known that it's so much easier if you put yourself in a very simplistic type of room and just put on the music or maybe the ocean sounds, whatever can get you to drop to that alpha state right before the daydream stage. And seriously, just ask the question out loud like you're talking. And when it comes in, how you'll know your guide's speaking to you, and of course your mind's not making it up, is that when you ask the question, before you get even the question out, it'll feel like somebody turned the temperature up in the room. It'll be like goosebumps are coming out every pore, every orifice of your body. And then the time passes, obviously, and the information is either right or wrong. So it gives you good indication, and it builds your confidence. But I've read for about 38 years, professionally as a psychic, but my whole life with my mother, Sylvia Browne. And main thing is really relaxing because everybody has that inner psychic ability. Like I said before, it's like athletes. Some athletes are faster than others. Some people are more psychic than one another. So it's really about relaxing. Okay.
Miguel says, my job is going out of business. Where do you see me going next?
I think that you're going to go to a shipping house. I think it could be, I don't think it's the postal thing, but there's a lot of inventory going in and out. Like what it used to be a company here, it used to be like National Semiconductor, and they have all kinds of household goods from toilets to, floors to you name it. You could build a whole house there. It looks to be in that type of a realm, and I think you'll be placing orders, and I think that you'll be constantly on the run doing things, and that's good for you because you sitting in a chair just staring at a screen, not a good thing. So now this is not your all be all job, but it is a job now that you can do that you can make good money and keep yourself afloat until you get towards the end of summer next year where you can go back more of what you want to do, and that's helping people.
Maria says, what is my future partner's name?
Don't know. I can give you a description though. Dark brown hair, light brown eyes. Height will be about 5'9", 5'10". I know you like taller, but it's what it is. And I think very charismatic, very clean, very well groomed, and an honest person. I think that's important. They'll keep you laughing. I think that's important. So I think that this is a very good relationship circumstance, and I believe that you'll meet somehow right around work, and that's not so bad because with this pandemic going on, we really can't be going anywhere.
Digital Diva says, does my belated father have anything he wants to say?
No, but you've had a close relationship with him, and always I think he's been concerned about how happy, and you've always been motivated. You've always been the hardest on yourself. You need to cool off on the worrying because it is every day with you. It's literally from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. And that's like having a second job that you're not getting paid for. So please, for God's sakes, stop the worrying. When you have a long, healthy, prosperous life like you do, you got to realize timing between here and the other side, 90 years of our lifetime equals 48 hours to them on the other side. They don't have the ability to get upset or deal with depression or anxiety or panic attacks or worry or cutting a finger and saying, I'm bleeding, hand me a bandage. They can't do any of that. So if they look at your life and it's long and healthy and long, they're going to pop their head in, so to speak. And they say, oh, she's doing great. And they're on their way. I've said this before, so if you've heard it, just have patience with me for the newcomers. Like me and my mother, Sylvia Browne. I'm 54. Let's say I make it, pick a round number, 75. That gives me 21 more years of life. Okay. Not because my mom's psychic, Sylvia Browne, but because I have a blueprint and chart like everyone does. So that means my mom's probably waiting for me about an hour and a half. Okay, my mom could go get her nails done and come get me. My mom may want more than an hour and a half away from me. So if you really realize 90 years, 48 hours, that's a significant amount of time. Even if they could worry over on the other side, which they can't, okay? It wouldn't be that bad. It's only an hour and a half worth of time, okay? Besides, look at it logically. If everyone in this life, every one of us knew exactly what heaven was like, I don't know if there'd be too many of us sticking around here. Okay? People will probably be saying, life is too tough. Don't want to do it. I'm going home. That's not good because this is our boot camp. This is where we learn. This is where we evolve. This is where we grow. And so we're always going to make mistakes. We're always going to have things. But that's because we're growing and learning. When we're done learning, we get to go back home. Heaven's a perfect place. That's why we come here. And if that wasn't the case, if we didn't have this life, that wouldn't be a good thing.
A says, hi Chris, is this anxiety making me think I'm always in pain?
I would say absolutely, mostly, because you put energy into something. Your mind's your general. I've seen people get through all types of cancer, you name it, because they will themselves out of it. Just like if you've ever gone like down the street, I used to have this Dufresne pitcher, and I would put him on a leash and I have my skateboard. And the dog got so strong, and I wasn't that big at the time, I was 7th or 8th grade, that in order to stop, I'd have to jump off my skateboard and run to try to do that. And sometimes I couldn't do it, and the dog would drag me a little bit down the sidewalk. And then, you guys have had sidewalk rash or road rash, you know what I'm talking about. But a lot of times, it doesn't hurt until you open up your pant leg and you see that you're bleeding, or you see that you're injured. And all of a sudden, as soon as you see it, then it hurts. Okay. So,
Stephanie H says, hi Chris, will I get a part-time job?
I don't see any work coming in right now for you unless you're willing to work at a restaurant, and that's just basically handing the food that's cooked out to whoever's picking it up. If you want to do that, all means do it. Otherwise, I don't think it's anything you got that you're going to want to do the rest of your life, but this is certainly work that you can do right now.
Atrick says, Chris, I'm going through a bad time. I need a way to get through it. What will happen?
I think I would talk to these, hotlines with depression and anxiety and things, because the depression level seems to be up. You might want to check your vitamin D level too. I think that's down, and when vitamin D is down, there can be a little bit that's what you get. Vitamin D is what you get out of sunlight. So check it to see how low it is so you can supplement accordingly. But I think it's just about finding the positive in everything. Truthfully, you guys, that means so much because positive breeds on positive like negative breeds on negative. That's really the truth.
Yeah, we were even talking about that before the stream started.
Yeah, we were. Absolutely.
Tiger Pixel says, should I go for this new job opportunity in life insurance?
I would, because I actually think you're going to like the people that you're going to work around, which is going to be different for you. And I think that you have growing room. And I think you're going to really enjoy it. And I'm very happy that you're asking me this question, because normally you would roll your eyes back and say, I wouldn't like this type of job. So I'm very pleased to be able to say, go for it and do it. And you're really going to do it. I can't tell you how many times I can get on the phone and I can say, hey, go do this. And they look at me like, what the hell are you talking about? You can't be psychic. That ain't right. And then they'll call me back saying, I'm so sorry. I listened to the tape and I apologize. I'm ready to listen to you now, which is cool. I understand. I've done this for a long time. And sometimes you come in with a predecided factor of what you think your life is going to be. Understand, I'm not a 900 number. I'm not here for entertainment purposes. I'm here to be as accurate as I can and be as detailed and specific as I can. I can't handle people that say, well, it could be this or it could be that. Well, what the hell does that say? That says absolutely nothing. I mean, I want, I got to be honest and to the point with you, because if you're suffering, I want you to stop suffering. And that's like when you have a reading with me, there's hindsight a psychic can do. If there's an accident, if there's a crisis, we can avoid you ever going through it in the first place. We can just miss the opportunity so you don't have to do it. A lot of people get confused and they think that, asking me a question is a psychic reading. No, it's one question. A psychic reading could have 100 questions to it. It can have as many questions as you can come up and think about, actually. Besides, we cover the health, relationship, family, finances, career, spirituality. And if there's another subject that I'm not listening, we'll cover that too. And a lot of my clients will say, Chris, that they want to start because some of them are up all night and they want to make sure that gets answered, so they'll start. And a lot of times they'll say, no, Chris, I feel more comfortable to see what you get. Then I'm going to ask my questions later. So I let them choose. And I have some clients that say, wait a minute, Chris, you can cover this subject, you can cover this subject. I don't want to know when I'm going to do this, or I don't want to know when I'm going to do that. And I'll stick within those perimeters. I really will. So there's no reason to be scared or I'm your psychic. That means I'm on the same side as you are. So if you're in the trenches, I'm going to jump in the trenches to get you out of the trenches. So the bottom line is we're a team. My objective is to get you from point A to point B, get everything completed in your life. You being that if you're off track, to get you back on track. If you're on track, keeping on that track so that you complete everything you have to do so you don't have to come back and do this again. So old souls, as I am, I'm in my last life, and you couldn't get me to do this lifetime again. I would not do it for anything. I love my career. I love my children. I love my animals. I love you guys. But I'm not doing it again. That's my choice. A lot of people have had a lot of lives, and when they get in their last, they're stumbling with it. And the reason why I think that can be, and this comes from my mother Sylvia. It's not mine, but we were sitting back one day. She said, Chris, I got it. And I go, what? She's all, well, when the people are in their last life, it's kind of like they're cutting the umbilical cord with Mother Earth. If any of you guys remember going from junior high to high school, from high school to college, there's that adrenaline, and you're scared, and you're excited, and you're worried, and you're afraid, and you're just going through all that. Can you imagine if you had 20, 30, 40, 50, who knows how many lives, and you don't have to do it again? There can be that inner lonely kind of what next kind of thing is. And I don't really look at, being alive, death. I don't look at it like that. My belief is a little different. Heaven is not way up in the clouds or eating bonbons. I don't believe that. I believe this life, as we go out of it, I believe we just go into another dimension and we start growing again. And a lot of people ask me about extraterrestrials and this kind of thing. Gosh, my goodness, I'm 54. They've been around us before I've been alive, for God's sakes. So they're really not going to do nothing to our planet. We're not going to go through a third world war. We're not going to go through a nuclear war, okay? So, like I've said in the past, we may have to not eat out of our oceans and things. We may have to have farm-raised, fish and stuff. We got a little less than 100 years with this planet, so that's not in our lifetime, you guys. I'd be 154 years old, and I don't think anybody makes it that long. Besides, like I said, if we all knew exactly what heaven was like, I don't think too many people would be sticking around here. That's why we have that survival mechanism, though, to keep us here, to keep us finishing our contract and our blueprint. And that's why my belief here is, or how I was raised, I've been against suicide, but there is a gray area of suicide. Sometimes people know it and they choose to take their life, and our belief they have to come back and do the whole entire lifetime over again. Why? Because they flunked and they didn't get everything done, so they got to do it again. But sometimes there could be, for an example, a chemical imbalance. There could be mentally a lot going on, and that means the person is clearly not in the right state of mind. And when they're not in the right state of mind, I look at that more as an accident as I do a suicide. Therefore, they don't have to come back. They don't have to do it again, which is a good positive there. Okay.
Donna says, will I find out what is causing my hives?
Well, I mean, you do have a lot of allergies. And you got to keep your fingers off your body. You just have to keep your fingers off your body. I mean, you're just scratching your skin off, for God's sakes. And I hate to be, it's a lot to do with stress. It's a lot to do with your laundry detergent. It's a lot to do with the clothes. I believe you have to wear 100% cotton clothing. I believe you have to do like the baby draft, detergent. I believe you have to do like Dove soap. Your skin is so sensitive. It's like mine. If I go sit on the grass with shorts, my bottom of my legs will be all welted up. You have highly, highly sensitive skin. If you're out, let's say hypothetically, in a sandstorm with shorts, you're going to walk in your camper or your car and you're going to have hives. Why? Because you got allergic issues. Anything that you walk in and someone's spraying like 409 or something like this, that stuff comes down, and it sets on your skin, okay? It's going to do it. So you just have to realize you have to wash yourself and really stick by, I don't have it because I follow all those things that I told you. Otherwise, I'd be one big welt today.
Maria says, do you see me changing departments in my current job? I'm not happy in my current department. Well,
that's just because the individual sitting, to the right to you just can't stand. And it's just, it reminds me a lot of junior high school, that kind of environment. I really don't think I would change departments right now. I don't want you to say, oh, Chris, tell me something else but that. But I just wouldn't do it because you're not going to like it any better. Go to work and do your job and be happy and positive and let it kind of blow over your head like you're not paying any attention to it. And this will calm down in about a month as long as you don't let them know that they're really affecting you. If you let that know, it's like pouring gasoline on a fire. So don't do that. Rise above it. Do your job. Leave your work at your work. You never leave your work at your work. You constantly take it home with you. Knock it off. I remember back when I just started my profession, I'd have like a client like 8:30 in the morning, the client at 5 o'clock in the evening. And I would be worn out in between, and I would be obsessing a little bit and things. And through the years, as I got more clients that filled in the whole day, I knew I couldn't do that. Why? Because I have to be at the top of my game. I have to be recharged and be able to do the best I can for my next client. And it's like anything. You build up, a tolerance, but then again, I could do 20 in a day and feel like I didn't work, and I could do 2 or 3 and just be wiped out. It really depends on the situation, on the circumstance, and all what's going on. And that's why if you book a reading with me, and if you want to do that, that's 408-379-7070. And chrisrightnow.com is how to get a hold of me on my website. Go check it out. There's a lot of really cool stuff there. And also check out, subscribe to the channel and check out all the videos that we got. Okay, we're putting stuff in the playlist now, and that's from my mother, Sylvia Browne, and we've got 2 big mammoth warehouses filled to the roof. And I've got people working pretty diligently trying to digitalize and download and Adobe and get these things up and running. And some of the stuff is back to reel to beta, the VHS, but we're bringing it all to the forefront because everyone wants to see more of Sylvia. And like I was saying a little while back, light bulb went on in my head like, oh my gosh, my mom has recorded everything in her life. So you're going to see things that, Sylvia was a mother, Sylvia at Christmas, Sylvia's a psychic, Sylvia's a trance medium, all this because people do want more for more closure. And I'm getting to the point now where I can watch it a little bit easier too and do that. So keep in mind, we're trying to put out a video a week if we can keep up with that pace, which is a lot of work to do that. And then I want to make sure that you guys are aware we tried the 5 o'clock on Sunday. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to be here at 3 o'clock on Sunday, and that's going to be every Sunday. We're going to try to keep to that as best as we can, unless I get evacuated. But I don't think I'm going to have to go through that problem because, you know. But the people that are out there, I'm telling you, we're praying diligently for you, and just be positive, because there's always something you can find good with everything that happens in life. I've been raised that way. Okay, next question.
You want to do a phone call?
Okay.
Here we go. Here's my phone.
Are you ready? What's the name?
Her name is, let me see, Sam.
Huh?
Sam.
Sam.
Yep.
Okay.
Hello?
Hi, Sam. This is Chris from YouTube Live.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. Are you watching?
Yes, I am.
Okay. What's your question today, dear?
My question is, I was wondering if my son has successfully recovered from his absence epilepsy.
I do believe, I would say 90% for the most part. I think there's going to be a couple little hiccups along the way. I think working with who you're working with doctor-wise and everything else, and his own internal neurological system, it looks to me like he's getting stronger and he's growing out of a lot of this. So I think you're definitely out of the woods. Understand, I'm giving you from a psychic standpoint because I'm not a doctor, but I feel really good about this, dear. And you know, you guys have had past lives with each other. That's why you're so bonded to the kids.
That's great. That's such good news. He's gonna be so happy to hear that too.
Yeah.
It's been rough.
Tell him that I'm proud of him, that I know he's just a survivor and a fighter, and I don't just say this lightly because I have to be right on with things. He's a light entity, and he's an old soul. He's a really good trooper there.
Oh, well, that's great. Well, that's really good news. I really appreciate that.
God bless, and keep up with the channel, okay? We got some good stuff happening here.
Okay, I'm excited to watch.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
All right, thank you.
Very sweet.
Awesome. Judy says, should I get more brain surgery for my Parkinson's?
If you decide to do the surgery, I think the surgery would go well. I think you'll find that it will help about 20 to 25% in comparison. So if that ratio is good for you, then I would definitely go through it. But the choice is certainly yours. And anytime we get into the medical, I always feel better prefacing that you are talking to a psychic. I'm definitely not a doctor, so I always go by what the doctor says. But if I was in your shoes, I believe I would go through and do this.
Devery says, will my brother Max ever get his life on track?
Oh, I don't think so. There's a part of him that, and I mean no disrespect, I really don't. He's just never growing up. He just doesn't grow up. And the family, I don't think, is enabling him, but, families help each other, and family love each other, family do things for each other. You kind of are stuck because you kind of have to do it, because if he doesn't, everything gets worse. It's not like hard love works here, because it just doesn't, because this individual is just stubborn. So you're really in a bind. If I was in your shoes, I would just love him for the way that he is. And when he's going to do the things he's going to do, that's his life. It's his choice. And you kind of got to either look around it, or you either got to kind of go your own way. And the reason being is because he really is comfortable with what he's doing, as crazy as that sounds. So I don't really think he's going to change much. But you can change with, loving him and not taking the responsibility inward, because you've done everything humanly possible that you can do.
Dina says, can you describe the guy you predicted I'd meet in 14 months?
Yeah, of course. Medium height, so to me that would be 5'11". Hazel eyes, the majority of the eye is blue, but on his license to be hazel. Cut short around the ears, a little bit of a goatee, and I believe light tan, so that would be, well, I'm white. I'm real white. Like I would go in the sun for a couple days, how I would like to be. And I think fullness within the lips, a couple of character lines within the forehead, a larger nose but looks complimentary, broad shoulders, and a little bit of waist around the midsection. But with this pandemic, who doesn't have that? But I think you guys will get along wonderfully well. The reason why I like so much to give descriptions and not give names, first of all, I'm very accurate with descriptions. I'm not so accurate with names. I do get names once in a while, but names are difficult, and the reason why is I could get a name, but that doesn't mean that they use that name. That doesn't mean that they haven't changed that name. That doesn't mean that they go by a nickname. So I might get one of the names, but if they're not using it, it's going to throw you off. A description doesn't change. I mean, everybody grays. Come on, that's common sense. But, you know, the descriptions don't change. So that's the reason why I go that route.
Veronica says, when do you see me going on vacation to visit my dad again?
You're going to have to wait just about a whole another year. That would be 12 months of time. So, and I would give it that time. I know you're freaking out a little bit because, you know, he's getting older and there are some health issues going on. But to make you feel a little bit more comfortable, I don't really believe he's going to be going anywhere anytime soon. So do this, you know, phone call stuff and things like that. I know we're going to start changing, just so everybody's aware of this. We're going to start trying to pull away a little bit out of Skype and go more towards Zoom. We're going to start doing that now because it seems to be more people going that way. It seems to be, for lack of my technical ability here, help me, Chris, a little bit easier to make the connection.
You got it perfectly. That's what it sounds like. Skype can be a little bit complicated.
Got something there. That was a good guess, huh? I'm just not technically inclined because it just drives me crazy. Even the wires in this room at times drive me crazy. So still, I want you guys to give me a comment down below. If you like the show, give me a thumbs up. And put down in the comment section below if you want to do the Chris Raw. Chris Raws, we put the camera on, and maybe we're cooking, and maybe we're playing with the cat or the dogs, or maybe we're having a food fight. I don't know. It could be anything we do in my house, okay? It could be some parts boring, some parts exciting because I don't know who's going to walk through the front door. I'm letting my family that, you know, is in school, kids, whatever, come in and say, hey, you could be coming into it. So just, you might deal with some family fights. It'll just be kind of like a mini reality kind of deal. So I want to try that. So put down in the comment section below if you think you'd like to see that. Put down in the comment section below if you think we're doing enough Q&A, you know, for like we're doing now, or if you want to see something else. I do, my passion is cars and doing things like that, so I do want to get more into that. It's just with all this ash that's going on right now and all my car batteries are dead, I need to go and get those trickle charges, but those don't really work all that well. You got to have your car kind of go a couple of miles and run through the things because the heavier cars, the tires get low. I mean, any of you car collectors out there, you know what I'm talking about. It can be a full-time job and kind of a prisoner to it, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Okay, more questions.
Jordan says, any tips for my future?
That would be a reading, but I'll pick out one thing for you. I think you need to go back to school and learn more with and on computers. You're kind of like me a little bit, actually better than me, but I'd go that route because I believe many years, which is about 5, 6 plus, you'll go into business for yourself, and you're going to need to know how to do that, and you're going to need to know how businesses are run. So take those classes now so that when you start doing it, you're ahead of the game.
Gray wants to know if they'll meet somebody soon.
No, I don't think so. I don't think anything is going to come into your life if we're looking at healthy relationship, if that's what you're asking me. I would think 6 months, maybe 7 months, which is not terrible. And I think you'll meet them at a store. So I would say running errands.
Rebecca says, when will I find love?
Well, I mean, here's the problem with this. You've been really, really hurt, and you're very ultra sensitive, and you don't go anywhere. So unless you change your tune, that is theoretically impossible to happen because we have to have common sense. Nobody's going to come walking up to your front door and ring the doorbell and say, hi, here I am. We know this. Okay. So it's kind of like saying this to you. If you buy a bus ticket and you go home, bus is going to come to the bus stop, bus is going to leave, which means you're not on the bus. So get outside and activate. If you do that, not right now with this pandemic, for God's sakes, okay? Not right now. Wait till the pandemic's over, then do it. This whole damn pandemic's having all in this holding pattern. And I would say you got about nine months or so. I think it's around grass and animals. So, go for those creek walk things at a normal decent hour, for God's sakes, or dog parks and things like this. Go that route. And I think you'll find your happiness with them.
Roddens says, "Hi Chris, can you tell me if it was a huge mistake being with my coworker recently? I have a million worries now."
Oh yeah, I don't think you need a psychic to answer that. It wasn't the right thing to do, but you did it. So the problem is you don't want anything more to do with it. And they feel the opposite. So just tone it down, be polite, be nice, but don't give any type of leading question that can be open-ended where they think that there could be something more about this, because they're going to get very upset when this doesn't happen again. And it's not going to happen again, because I know you know what a mistake this was. That's okay. We all have skeletons in the closet. I've done some things in my life that, we're not going there. I think we all have, okay? But, be happy, be positive, be upbeat. Just tell them, that they'll find someone that they really, really love, and hopefully they have that happen soon so it gets off your back.
Roxy says, "Hi Chris, can you tell me my spirit guide's name?"
I believe Norton is his name. It is a male.
CM says, "Will I find my apartment soon? Thanks, Camille."
I think you'll find it in about 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks. And the strange thing is, I don't think, for some reason, they're going to show you an apartment, but when you go see the apartment, there's going to be another apartment that's going to come up, but it is not up and not available. So that person has to move out, and then they have to go through the cleaning, deposit stuff, and that kind of stuff. But it really is worth waiting for, because you're going to like the floor plan, and I think the square footage is bigger for just right around the same price. So, have a little bit of patience with this, but I think you're getting really, really, really close.
Jordan says, "Can you tell me anything about my health?"
Your autoimmune system is just a little low, which is okay. Right knee cartilage is thinning a little bit. Back needs to be strengthened. It's your weak link, so we don't want problems to arise. So we want to solve that before that comes into play, and then try to find a way where you get into a hobby to cut down this constant overanalyzing. That has to be terribly, terribly, terribly draining. Wish my booty was here right now. If you guys are wanting to know about my kitty, she's doing great. She's getting chubby like her daddy right now. You guys haven't noticed, part of the reason why I don't want to shave this beard off, my gosh, is because I got chipmunk cheeks. Can you see it, Chris? You haven't gained any weight, but I'm twice your age. I wish I had a metabolism like Chris. He was saying he's like 160. What did you say you were?
I've been 165 for about 6 or 7 years now.
God, I'm 275 pounds and gaining. Good thing I have some height to go with it. Otherwise, I look like a Oompa Loompa.
Oh, I'm the same way, but I just look like a stick.
That's okay. A stick is okay. Trust me when I tell you. As you get older, as you guys can agree with me, your metabolism slows and you get that weight. You notice right now I got sweatpants on with the elastic band, because if I was sitting here with jeans, I'd be like, oh my God, I'm buttoning my pants.
Crystal says, "Any advice on my current relationship?"
Well, I think it's a long goodbye. I think it's going to end. I think you put a lot of energy in. I don't think you get that much out of it. So you're not ready to get out of it, because how you do it, I won't call it cheating, but there's a little bit of an overlap thing where you have to find another one to drop this one. And I think that's what will occur around, April or May of this next year, of course, because we're at August? Very close to the end of August. So I think that will be good for you. So I think you'll just have a little bit of a week or two overlap. You'll be out of one into another. But this is not going to last. You don't trust them and you're not happy. But you know that.
Beth says, "Hi, who's my spirit guide?"
Your spirit guide, I believe, is Tanya, and she's been with you pretty much since day one. You have a very empathic kind of sense. And if you don't know what empathic is, you can sense things really well. Like you go into a room and no one's saying anything, but you know if a person's not feeling good, or if they're mad, or if they're upset. So you're very in tune like that. So you should bring that more up to the forefront.
Rebecca says, "Will I lose weight and meet my goals?"
Yeah, you can, but at this present point in time, you haven't been doing it. You don't exercise consistently. You're not eating right. You have to have 3 meals and count your calories and stick with it with no cheat days. If you do it religiously, you got about 19, 20 months and you'll drop your weight. And the nice thing about that is your skin elasticity will go back and you'll get toned and you'll be happy. But you'll have to eat this way all the way through. And if you guys looking at me, I would say before this pandemic, a few months ago, I was a lot thinner because I was able to get out and do more gym and things like this and keep the aerobic work up. I'm still doing it, but I just happen to be watching, NCIS and eating a lot more. Well, I just love to eat. I really love to eat. But, it is what it is. But you don't look heavy. You feel heavy, But at least you look good clothing and pictures.
Crystal says, when do I get to go home to the other side?
Ultimately, I believe that's between the individual and God, but I think you got to your late 80s. Now, I can give you a ballpark figure or get within 5 years of time. Ultimately, that's really between the individual and God, but let's just be happy that this is your last life because you didn't ask that, and you don't have to come back and do it again. So my best advice is be as positive, do the best you can, help people along the way, get it done, and then you don't have to go back. At least it's your choice. You could choose to live more lives. You could choose to be done. It's really your decision. And I want to say that, we're going to start this this pay it forward thing again. I missed that. So I think probably this next Sunday, if you guys would be so kind, it's going to be a pay it forward where you send me in the thing that you did nice, and we'll be picking the questions we're going to be answering by what you do, paying it forward to people that you've done acts of gestures to. Remember, there's nothing too small. There's nothing too large. You could help somebody step up a curb. You could help somebody in line if they need a nickel to buy a loaf of bread. And they say, here's a penny, here's a nickel, help them. You can help them maybe pop open a trunk or carry the grocery basket so something rolls out of the cart, pick it up. Or, somebody, needs help washing the center of their windshield. There's no act too small of any type of kindness. I think we all need, myself included, to do more acts of kindness now to see what's going on in the world. And if you look at this pandemic, let's just really think about this for a second. The pandemic is telling us what? It's saying, stay home, stay home, stay home, right? Okay. We stay home, and each and every one of us, myself included, improve our home life with our children, with ourselves, with our mental state of mind, with everything that we do, with our hobbies and things, and make the home better. If we stay home and make our home better, the whole world becomes a better place. Now, how many of us do you think has gotten that message? Pandemic, stay home, everyone makes their home better, world's a better place. To this day, I don't understand the fighting and the terrorist stuff and the acts that people do and say and come across. For the life of me, I can't get it. I just don't understand how we can say, look, I'm sorry, you're sorry, I love you, you love me. Let's get along and live in this world in harmony. We are all God's children. We are all equal. I don't care if you're red, blue, black, white, orange, whatever. We're God's children. Even the animals. Even the insects. All of it. Okay? So why don't we all make a pact, because we are like one big family here. Get out and be positive, and let's really do some good. I know when I do something to help somebody, like even today, I feel better. I feel exhilarated because I will always do the very best I can for you. I mean, I take my clients very seriously and very personal because, when I'm reading for somebody, it's on my watch, not going to happen on my watch, because it's almost like we become friends in a certain kind of way. And I thank God every day for the position that I'm in and be able to look into your lives and help you and guide as much as I can. And I'm blessed because in so many ways you call me a psychic or you can call me interpreter, because I'm hearing the information from my guide. I'm actually learning a lot with you, and it's a great experience. And sometimes somebody's life is such an open book that I will go into my own personal life and tell them a little bit about myself, so it feels a little bit better and it goes a little bit better. It's always a good thing. During a reading you can ask me anything you want, but just to clarify, I'm answering psychic questions here. And once again, to repeat this in case you just came on, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. If you like what you see, give us a thumbs up. And we got the Ask Chris questions, the 28th, that's Friday, Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. And that's where we're running a special for that, because if I can't get to you today, you always can go that route, or you go to my website, which is www.chriswrightnow.com. That's CHRIS, right, R-I-G-H-T. Okay. Just thought of Michelle Wright when I was thinking right there. I should call her right now, but she'd be all irritable because she's sewing. Michelle owns Sun Junkie, in case you guys don't know. And she makes boots and she makes everything. She has an Etsy store, and you can look it up and see what she has there. She's got so much wonderful merchandise. And that I call her a little girl because she was my 7th grade sweetheart, but she's only about 5'1", but she's hardworking for me, and I appreciate everything she does. And she's so meticulous. She has to do every stitch she has to do. So when you get this stuff, it's pretty much perfect, and it's really, and we're waiting to get. What did we say we have? I think I got 9,200 subscribers. As soon as we reach the mark of 10,000 subscribers, we get the merch store. But please, you guys, stay uplifted. Stay uplifted in this time. And we're going to do the next show this coming Sunday is Pay It Forward. And without further ado, I'll see you next Sunday at 3 o'clock. If I don't see you before that, with doing some of these other shows. God bless. Have a nice evening.